Hey guys, what's up? My name is Anthony. Welcome to another edition of BNA Sports Talk. And today, I want to talk about the New York Giants and what we can learn from the playoffs, the Super Bowl, the whole 2020 season, as far as what other teams did, not really us. And yeah, I'll put into context about what moves we made already and whether I think it's good or bad, and where I think we should go from here a little bit in the context of what we learned in the playoffs. That was kind of a little bit of a hobble-jobble mess, but I don't care. I'm not redoing that intro. Let's talk about my first point, because I think that we need to make Daniel Jones into the next Daniel Jones. Let's not try to make him to Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes isn't the new wave. We need to make Daniel Jones successful for what his skill sets are. So we saw that with Jimmy Garoppolo. We saw that with Ryan Tannehill. Surround him with the weapons that they need to succeed. Give him a team. Let's not try to get him some guys that don't really fit with the scheme, whatever that means. Let's make an offense tailored to Daniel Jones. Let's get the best athletes, and let's not play around. Let's not try to make a unique style, kind of like Kansas City. We have to make the right decisions here. And we've seen quarterbacks that haven't really been put in a great system, and they've been given weapons that they don't really need. We've seen that in the past. We've seen that with Aaron Rodgers. He was like, oh, let's give him a run game. But, he didn't really have any weapons downfield. And Aaron Rodgers thrives on weapons, and that's why they didn't make the Super Bowl. But, yeah, so then my next point is let's give him a tight end. Let's give Daniel Jones a tight end, a guy who can rely on. Doesn't even need to be experienced. I made a video about it. I said, Jason Witten would be great, but he's kind of old, but he's still productive. Just get a guy out of Iowa, probably. Whoever's playing for the Hawkeyes, just bring him up. Try, even if he's a sophomore, try to finagle some rules. I don't care. Let's bring a guy from Iowa, because it always seems like they're producing tight ends. And yeah, so we need a new guy. Evan Ingram, I don't think is cutting it. He's in the Jerry Reese system. I made a whole video about it, but it's really important. Even Jimmy Garoppolo had George Kittle wide open, and he could have iced the game right there with that first down, pretty much. You had Travis Kelce, who made some important plays. Although one time it's just like he was so close to the first down. It's just like go for the first down. Don't try to juke anybody out. Just go for the first down. Anyway, we definitely need a tight end. That's important. I think we're gonna prioritize that. Freddie Kitchens loved using tight ends. Jason Garrett loved tight ends as well. Jason Witten, they weren't really successful in the latter years when they didn't really have a great tight end to go to. And you saw with Escobar and the guys that they try to lean on, it's just like their offense didn't really flow. You saw the difference between 2018 and 2019 when they just had Jason Witten. And Ezekiel Elliott even fell back and their offense was even more productive. But yeah, so my third point is coaching. I don't think Patrick Graham is the guy. We saw in this year we have elite defensive minds. With the Packers, with the Chiefs and Steve Spagnuolo, we had him on our roster. I don't know why we didn't, sign him to a deal, make him our head coach. We picked Pat Shurmur. Robert Saleh, you had Mike Vrabel pretty much, and even their defensive coordinator was smart too. We have to have elite coaches, and more recently, coaches that have been game managers have been successful. John Harbaugh's, Bill Belichick's, your Mike Vrabel's, they've done it. But you have to have the quarterback to succeed. And once you don't have the quarterback, the quarterback, you're limiting him too much to a system, that's when you struggle. You have to have, when it comes down to it, you have to have that elite factor. You have to have that willpower. Daniel Jones has shown that. He's shown that he can stick in the pocket. He's shown that he can extend plays. You don't want to extend plays every single drive. You don't want to be Lamar Jackson and be like, the guy was kind of open, but I'm not going to throw to him. No, you have to be able to deliver the ball even when the guy's not open and hit him. And I think Daniel Jones can do that. That's why I'm confident in us. Joe Judge is inexperienced. You have guys that were inexperienced that made it pretty far. You had Aaron Rodgers make it. Obviously, Daniel Jones is inexperienced, which is concerning to me. We don't really have that much experience. Our defensive coordinator, Patrick Graham, is not that good. I really don't think so. Miami, I really wanted a Wade Phillips. I wanted a guy, maybe a 3-4 guy, who can make our defense successful. I wanted that. But it's kind of concerning how we weren't able to attract that guy. Even if Joe Judge could attract that guy, we didn't bring him in. I don't know. Patrick Graham, that's the best he can do. With Miami, they had one of the worst defenses, even though they weren't that talented. Still, they were a horrible defense. They're one of historically worst defenses. And I don't want to bring a guy like that in. That is concerning, our defensive coordinator. But we're going to get the X's and O's right. We're not going to lose the game, and that is sustainable for the playoffs. I don't really care about the regular season. I care about the playoffs when we make it. But we have to take some steps first. We have to win some games. And I'm glad that we're probably not going to lose due to timeouts, bad play calling. And we saw that's the downfall sometimes. Kyle Shanahan, he couldn't get over the top because he didn't really make the right calls. And I think that, there are a lot of nuances that go into it. But I think that Joe Judge is ultimately, he has good head on his shoulders. Nick Saban, Bill Belichick, he just hasn't really implemented that in game real time just yet. He's done it with Bill Belichick a little bit. Joe Judge is gradually given more responsibilities. But next, running back, we need a guy behind Saquon Barkley to take the load off Saquon Barkley. He got injured. That's not really a huge concern for me, but we have to pay him coming up soon. Let's try to elongate his career a little bit. Let's get a little bit of a better offensive line, but more importantly, we need a guy behind Saquon Barkley. He had like 95% of the carries when he was in the game, so let's take the load off him. Wayne Gallman was Elijah Penny couldn't really hit the hole that well. He wasn't really that. He couldn't really hit a guy and make him bounce back. Like Joe Judge said, we need to pound the other team. And a guy like Derrick Henry, a guy like LeGarrette Blount, who could just come up on those highlight reels, and Marshawn Lynch, who could just plow through guys. We need a guy like that. We need a guy that could make this team pretty good. You had Ezekiel Elliott in Dallas. We saw how that made them a little bit successful over the years because it takes pressure off Dak Prescott, and all he has to do is make big throws, and all of a sudden he's getting all the accolades. And Dak Prescott only averaged 185 yards in his first couple years passing yards per game. So we don't need to have a quarterback with 300 yards per game. We don't. Jimmy Garoppolo, they were thriving with him throwing very little. The third takeaway is that we need to have an offense that fits Daniel Jones. Patrick Mahomes, they're an anomaly. They're great. Patrick Mahomes can just pull things out of his ass. He's Steph Curry. Now you have a bunch of players jacking up threes, but nobody is like Steph Curry. Let's play our own game. Let's zig while everyone else is zagging, Yeah, so my last point would be let's get elite on the defensive line. We saw how good that was for both teams. You get a quarterback that's rattled, and Patrick Mahomes couldn't do anything. And the 49ers, all these first-round draft picks, let's even trade it back up into the first round. Let's get 2 elite defensive players. I'd probably like to get a left tackle. I don't want to get a left tackle in free agency, so I'd lean toward getting a left tackle in the first round. But let's get elite on that defensive line. Good Leonard Williams, B.J. Hill, etc. But let's get some good linebackers in here. Let's bring one in free agency. Let's draft 1 or 2 guys really high. Let's do that. We need to become elite on the defensive line because it shows, Daniel Jones, he'll have more of a cushion. He'll have less pressure on him. If the defense is successful, he won't have to deliver on many other 4th downs. And that'll help his confidence in the long term. Kansas City Chiefs, 49ers. The Packers were lucky. They're an anomaly. They had a rookie head coach and stuff like that. They were an anomaly this year. But then you have the Tennessee Titans, great defense, great defensive minds, great pass rush, and decent secondary. You just need to have a decent secondary. DeAndre Baker doesn't have 4.4 speed. He has 4.5 speed, but that's okay. We will develop those guys. Maybe get like a Trey Waynes in free agency. That's been my opinion. Let's not dish out a bunch of money to a cornerback. Let's get elite on the defensive line. But yeah, those are my main takeaways. Let me know what you guys think. I think the Giants are in a good position here. We just need to make some good acquisitions this year. Obviously, Dave Gettleman missed on a lot of guys, but he also hit on a lot of guys. You have guys like Ryan Conley who are going to be bright spots next year, but let's get elite on that in the box. Let's get elite in the box. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Let me know what you guys think. What should we do, and what should we learn from the playoff teams this year? There are probably some that I missed. And yeah, I like missing a couple, so you guys let me know. But I hope you guys enjoy again, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.